This isn't just a girl trip, okay? This is a healing arc with glitter, tequila, and questionable decisions.
I've been single for about 4 months now, so it's definitely a process. But with the support of some amazing people, including my bestie Vanessa, it genuinely helps a lot with finding your true self again without the relationship and moving on and moving past, and that self-discovery and journey, and finding your own self-love again. And I think that's why we planned this. That's why we want to take you on our journey of just some good times and some memorable moments. So stay tuned.
Here to heal. Because
Yes.
we're both single. And me too,
1000%.
bro. Like, dead ass. Like, the last person I dated was traumatizing. Like, I'm literally
That's a good word.
traumatizing, bro. Like, man, like, almost restraining order, you guys. So, we've had some questionable decisions, so...
And relationships.
Which is why we're here.
This is why.
Which is why we're here.
And we're vlogging it.
And we're vlogging it, just so that way everyone knows, you're not alone if you're going through heartbreak and healing. I made it.
You did.
I almost thought I wasn't. Bro. That flight was not
Don't say
fun.
that.
Man, this because the delay. It was like very frustrating. It added like 2 hours. I was supposed to be here at 12, bro.
I know. I was chilling here.
Yeah.
Where is she?
That's just it's just but I mean I guess one should expect it with flights. The funny thing is I almost thought I was gonna miss my flight, remember?
Yeah, because you forgot your phone.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom. She really came through for that one. But anyways, we're here in Vegas. I'm here. So I just want to first say, dude, and I'm not just saying this because of social media, but the fact that, you're independent, you have your, shit together, and the fact that, going through a heartbreak is painful.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally like love has the same effect as drugs, and it's proven by science. So to be able to continue and hustle and look amazing and still work out, like I think that's something that should be recognized, and I think you should be really proud. But I'm here and I want to talk and just see how you're doing emotionally.
I'm doing well. I mean, well, I'm not going to say that it's easy because I would be lying. And I feel like when you post content, it can be perceived that it wasn't a big deal or that it was easy because I'm not showing all sides to a story, right? So, when I'm posting in my check-ins on my stories and I'm going to the gym every single day, you know, that was just a non-negotiable that I had for myself because I had to shift my attention into something else. Because me living alone now, this is the first time I'm living alone in like my whole life. I moved out of my parents' house and in New York City, and I had roommates. So even though I was on my own, I still lived with people. So that sense of being alone never really existed in my life. And then shortly after, moved in with my ex, and then we lived together for 5 years. So that was one of the most different things, was waking up and being completely alone. So, and there's a lot of peace with being lonely, and but at the same time, staying home all day just wasn't helping me feel better or anything. So when I came back from Brazil and I made that decision to go back to the gym, and I was like, I'm gonna make this non-negotiable myself, and I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna document it. Like, I'm not posting that many reels, but keeping up with all the weeks and saying week 1, week 2. Like now I'm in week 12. Like, it's cool to see that, like, when you keep up with something, like what can happen over such a short period of time. And I feel like shifting my attention to that instead of the person and what he did to me and the stuff that I found out later, I'm shifting my energy into how can I feel better, how can I look better, and how can I advance in my life without him. So, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's to be able to focus that energy on yourself and not really on the negative aspect of things,
Hmm.
it's something powerful. It's powerful because again, it's like a drug, and having that taken away when you plan these things, it's heavy. So to hear you be able to better yourself and focusing on that, and you look great, by the way.
Thank you.
And so I'm proud of you. Like, I'm here because I'm like, I miss my bestie and I want to be here for you, but like I'm just so proud, dude.
I appreciate
Genuinely.
you.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you.
And I think
Yeah.
what you said is definitely valuable for a lot of people, because a lot of us have been through heartbreak, and a lot of us know how difficult it is to get out of that darkness, that void of like I pictured my life with this person and
Yeah.
now they're gone.
And I think this one was specifically difficult in that sense because I never actually felt like I could see a future with someone else, like that was, but this was the first person where I was like, oh, I can see everything, the happy ending. So yeah, and again, that's one of the reasons why I was like, I need to channel this sadness in a different way, and again, moving my body was the only way that I knew to really work through that. And working, I'm blessed to have a really good work environment, even though I do work in nightlife. Um, I really am really close with all of my coworkers, and so having a really good support system. Shout out to a lot of my friends here as well, that have also been there for all the stories in between and the advice and all of that. So having a good support system too, also including you, of course, helped me heal. And I think also, like, I'm here holding a snake, channeling that energy into my animals, I feel like also helps. Like we have Oreo,
Yes,
Tigger
it does.
somewhere, Trixie, and Miso, my gecko. Channeling that energy into animals, I think, also helps me heal a lot. Ball pythons are meant to just still sit right here and chill with you. They're like your little companion while you're watching TV or studying or reading a book, having just different ways to express your love to someone else that's not this person. Um, when as well as loving yourself, but yeah, I feel like naturally as a woman, I like to nurture. So I was used to nurturing a person who didn't deserve that. So going back into that nurturing side would be to take care of my animals, and my friendships as well. Yeah.
What is one advice, like one you think key advice that you give to anyone that's going through what you're going through right now? Because everything you're saying, like, is I can't even add on to it. Like, it's like wow, like full on
um,
therapist over here.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that I give good advice, and I think one of it would be to listen to my own advice, which I think I've been trying to. But aside from that, something that I've been doing recently is like going back to what makes like little me happy, like what was like little Kiara, like what made her happy. And I was scrolling through old photos, and I saw a photo of me on a rock, in Central Park, and I loved rock climbing as a kid. I loved going to Central Park and climbing rocks. So I saw that like my passion for like the outside and nature was always something that I was an outside kid. I didn't play video games. I was always outside, and I think stepping into that really is so healing for me because then I allow myself to go climb some rocks here in Vegas, and I go hiking, and I step outside, and I appreciate the beauty that is around me. Because when you do that and you step into this vast area, you start realizing how small your problems actually are compared to the vastness that's around you. And you start viewing life, being more appreciative and grateful for every day that we do have here. So yeah, I mean, going back to what I was saying, stepping into what made you happy as a kid. For me, it was rock climbing, and I named my snake Trixie because I used to love like the little Trix yogurts. Like that just reminds me of my childhood, and she just is a banana ball python and has like these like pink and purple hues, so it just reminds me of the swirly Trix yogurt. So I don't know. Recently, I've just been trying to channel in like little me, like what would make little me happy. And one of them was getting a steak because I wasn't allowed to have one as a kid. So again, with my adult money, figuring out what makes me happy. And a lot of that has also been buying more pink. Like I bought a pink vacuum
I love
of TikTok
that. That's
shop,
so
and I was like,
cute.
why not?
Why not?
My
Yeah.
garbage bags are pink. Just random things that just like colors or things that just like pop. Will that make me happy? I don't know. And just again, I feel like when you're in a relationship for such a long time, you start losing your sense of self if it's not the right one. So again, like what made me me as a kid, or what makes me me now, and figuring what those things are. And yeah,
That was a beautiful answer.
thank you.
I
I probably rambled a bit.
no, that's all of that is like very insightful because it's
Yeah,
like, you know, it's something you're going through right now.
yeah.
So it's like as to, for example, I give my life coaching perspectives, but like as someone who's going through the emotions right now, it's very insightful to have like a perspective on exactly like what you're doing right now.
Hmm.
And I mean, everything you're doing is so valuable because it's true when we get in a relationship, we tend, especially as ADHDers, hyper fixate and we're like, them, people pleasing, like we got to make sure they're taken care of and we
Yeah.
forget to take care of ourselves. And
Hmm.
then we could also have that loss of identity because we mask so heavily and we like focus so much on the other person that we just neglect our needs and what it is that we really want, which is it's beautiful to hear because you're like I'm buying pink stuff because it's like you're actually listening to like, you know what, like I'm on myself now and it's like now I really get to see what it is that I want and not focus on everyone around me,
Yeah,
which is a
exactly.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I think also like having that anxious attachment to somebody,
Yes.
I think is also with um, neurodivergence, and I realized that you really do get attached to that person, and you end up putting the person on a pedestal,
Yeah.
and that's when you start losing respect for yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I
That's what
feel like
narcissists love.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
and I feel like it's still important to explain what I'm going through without necessarily shedding bad light on the individual that I was with, because this is still something that a lot of people can relate to, and there's a professional way to go about it. Hmm.
So proud of you.
Thank you, girl.
I can't wait for y'all to see the crazy. This was like the professional side. Y'all are gonna see the wild side in a little bit.
Be careful.
This is the
She
cordial,
wasn't ready.
but y'all are gonna see the crazy side. This is the healthy side of healing. I mean, the other one's gonna be healthy too, but a little more fun focused.